Fernando, welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me back.
Well, we want to, obviously, we're focused today, elections, significant elections determining the future course of the nation. But before we ask you about the prospects of the elections there in New York City, just want to check in with you to get a report to our listeners of what's happening there on the ground in New York City in the wake of Sandy.
Well, it's been devastating. I've been to the Far Rockaways last night. I got in close to 2 in the morning delivering supplies to Staten Island. I've been to Jersey City as well. And it's Katrina Part 2, with the exception that the waters have receded, but the effects are magnified because the concentration of people, and I think this is the big difference between what you experience down south and what we have here. It's just we have a massive amount of people in a very small amount of space, and therefore everything magnified soon after the storm. And tragically, the resources have not been getting to the people: water, food and supply, and this made us serve as a catalyst to mobilize churches because of the grave situation. And it's, the tragic thing here is that, you know, the churches and the national Christian organizations were not connected. At the beginning, they were not really making it feasible for us to have a staging area. And finally, last Friday, I was able to get the Kingsbridge Armory, the largest armory in the world, and we are operating there 24 hours a day with hundreds of volunteers. Operation Blessing, Operation Hope, all the denominations you could think of.
Oh, you mean so those radical Christians are there again to help people, Fernando?
Well, we need those radical Christians because they seem to be like the only ones mobilizing in a united front and united way. And I can't tell you how many pastors themselves lost everything, Tim and Tony. I mean, literally everything. I went to the Far Rockaways, and I took pastors with me and Christians, and we were pumping water out of people's basement, taking everything that they own. And I'll tell you, I couldn't find the Red Cross out there. I couldn't find FEMA. Nobody was out there, especially among those who are socially and economic devastated, and they were already in the working poor. So it's been, at one point, it's been disappointing. On the other hand, it's been a blessing to see how the churches are putting together and making a difference. And we're truly making a difference. So I'm excited. But I have to tell you something else that occurred here. Even here in the Bronx, we were promised gasoline. We've been waiting for gas. I mean, you could wait for gasoline for 3 or 4 hours at a time. And we were promised gasoline to come to the Kingsbridge Armory. And people waited out there in the cold. It's freezing cold out here, and the wind is blowing. And 7 hours later, they told us that the truck was diverted someplace else. Like, they figured it out 7 hours later that the truck was diverted from a place that's only 2 hours away. And you should have seen how the people were feeling. They felt it was just horrible. The reality is this. The state and city government here dropped the ball. They should have gotten consultants. They know exactly how to manage major catastrophes.
This is the same thing we saw in Louisiana after Katrina down in New Orleans, and I should have mentioned that Fernando is also a pastor there in the Bronx. He has a church and is also associated with a network of pastors, and so as you work with the church. But you said something last week, and you touched on it, and I want to make this clear to our listeners, is that the churches were there immediately to respond. Operation Blessing and others that were ready to step in and help like they did in Louisiana, but the city government wouldn't give them space to bring their stuff in and unload. Is that correct?
That's correct. I have Abounding Grace Church in the Lower East Side, where people, what people need to understand outside of New York City is that when the lights go on in New York City and you live in the 20th floor and you're 80 years old, it's a devastating thing. And we have many elderlies that were in lockdown with no food, no water. And we requested one of the public schools, and we were denied. This is staggering that somebody would do that in government when you have people that were offering. So what we end up doing is we did it right in the street. Then finally they started sending commissioner. When they saw the 5-star operation that we were running there, all of a sudden they said, now you could go into the school. And we push and shove to get this armory, which is just 1 block away from my church. And now, we're getting the highest praise for the operation that we're doing here. With very little money and a lot of resources coming in. We're all volunteers. We don't have not one person who's getting paid for doing this. And so we're maximizing this. I have very little trust in the Red Cross. I saw them in Haiti. I was in the Cajun Dome. I deal with Flight 587, 9/11. I just don't like the way they operate. They take a lot of money. I don't feel their presence. They're not grassroots, and there's no one that could do grassroots like the church can do.
Fernando Cabrera joining us from New York. Before we let you go, Fernando, we got calls backed up here who people want to talk about the election. I want to ask you, how can our listeners pray for you all there in New York? I know New Jersey's been hit hard too. And also, is there any particular, I guess you mentioned some church denominations are helping Operation Blessing. I think that's Pat Robertson's group, isn't it?
Yes. They brought a big 18-wheeler yesterday. Yeah. We were so happy. I almost felt like crying, to be honest with you, when I saw that big truck come in. And our people were just ecstatic, and we took all the merchandise out. Most of that stuff is already gone, and we're getting new supplies coming in. But if people want to help, they could go to New Life Bronx, newlifebronx.com, and on the right-hand side it says where they could donate. They could help us that way, because we're running, to be honest with you, we got
cash.
$5,000.
You need cash so you can buy stuff, right?
Yeah, cash will be fantastic because it's quicker. And I got a call this morning and said I need $500. We need gasoline.
That runs through your church. That goes through your church.
Yeah, through our church. That was the quickest way to do it.
Okay, what is that? What is that website again?
Sure, it's newlifebronx.com.
Newlifebronx.com. Newlifebronx.com. City Councilman and Pastor Fernando Cabrera, C-A-B-R-E-A.
And the real deal.
C-A-B-R-E-R-A. Has been our. Hey, Fernando, we will continue to pray for you and hope people will give and help you all, and we'll talk to you again real soon, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Fernando.